Hi guys, welcome to the first video in this series on JavaScript for beginners. I am Jason, your host. I'm going to be taking you through a JavaScript course on Free Code Camp. This is a great place to start if you know nothing about JavaScript. I just want to read this quick little preface they have here. I think it's pretty good info. So it says, please slow down and read this. Free Code Camp is a proven path to your first software developer job. More than 40,000 people have gotten developer jobs after completing this. And I will add that I started here as well. I am now a developer at Hulu, so I can definitely attest that this is a great place to start, including at big companies like Google and Microsoft. If you are new to programming, we recommend you start at the beginning and earn these certifications in order. To earn each certification, build its 5 required projects and get all their tests to pass. You can add these certifications to your resume or LinkedIn, but more important than the certifications is the practice you get along the way. If you feel overwhelmed, that is normal. Programming is hard. Practice is the key. Practice, practice, practice. And this curriculum will give you thousands of hours of hands-on programming practice. If you want to get a developer job or freelance clients, programming skills will be just part of the puzzle. You also need to build your personal network and your reputation as a developer. You can do this on Twitter and GitHub and also on the Free Code Camp forum. Happy coding. And let's see. Welcome to freecodecamp.org. Forget safety. They always have these funny quotes in here. Forget safety. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Be notorious. I love that. All right, let's see. So let's go into JavaScript algorithms and data structure certification. 300 hours. This is going to be where we start. While HTML and CSS control the content and styling of a page, JavaScript is used to make it interactive. In the JavaScript algorithm and data structure certification, you'll learn the fundamentals of JavaScript, including variables, arrays, objects, loops, and functions. Once you have the fundamentals down, you'll apply that knowledge by creating algorithms to manipulate strings, factorialize numbers, and even calculate the orbit of the International Space Station. Along the way, you'll also learn 2 important programming styles or paradigms: object-oriented programming and functional programming. Note, some browser extensions such as ad blockers and script blockers can interfere with tests. If you face issues, we recommend disabling extensions that modify or block the content of pages while taking the course. So here are the courses. Basic JavaScript looks like the first one here. It's been a while since I've been on Free Code Camp, so just want to be sure this is what we want to dive into. They've got a whole bunch of these. I would really recommend going through all of these. JavaScript algorithms and data structures. Seems like a good place to start would be at the top. So let's get into our first lesson, Basic JavaScript. JavaScript is a scripting language you can use to make web pages interactive. It is one of the core technologies of the web along with HTML and CSS and is supported by all modern browsers. For this reason, I definitely recommend learning JavaScript along with HTML and CSS. You can totally go back and start at HTML. Have some videos on that coming up soon, and then learn CSS, which will take a little bit of time. But once you have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript together, you can do so much with just these 3 technologies. And like they mentioned, it's supported in all modern browsers, and pretty much all browsers need JavaScript to function. And so it'll definitely always be around, at least for the foreseeable future. In this course, you'll learn fundamental programming concepts in JavaScript. You'll start with basic data structures like numbers and strings. Then you'll learn to work with arrays, objects, functions, loops, if-else statements, and more. Let's get started. Comment your JavaScript code. Comments are lines of code that JavaScript will intentionally ignore. Comments are a great way to leave notes to yourself and to other people who will later need to figure out what that code does. There are 2 ways to write comments in JavaScript. Using the // will tell JavaScript to ignore the remainder of the text on the current line. This is an inline comment. 2 // and then you write your comment as long as it's in one line. You can make a multi-line comment beginning with /* and ending with */. This is a multi-line comment here, so if it's on more than one line, you'd want to use this syntax here. Note, as you write code, you should regularly add comments to clarify the function of parts of your code. Good commenting can help communicate the intent of your code for both of your code. both for other users and for your future self. I can attest to this. You lots of times will be the one who doesn't know what's going on in your own code when you look back into the past, and you'll definitely want those comments, especially if you're working on something a little bit more complicated. So try creating one of each type of comment. So this is an inline comment, and this is a multi-line comment. You guys, I hope, are following along as well. So you should go through these lessons as well and refer to these as you need to. Let's run the tests. And by the power of Grayskull, we've completed it. We're 1% complete. Let's submit and go to the next challenge. We'll do the first one or two here. Declare JavaScript variables. In computer science, data is anything that is meaningful to the computer. JavaScript provides 8 different data types, which are, and these are very important to know. So if I were you, I would write these down, maybe get a little whiteboard or get some cards somewhere where you can write these down and definitely refer to them and make sure you know them. Undefined, null, boolean, string, symbol, big int, number, and object. For example, computers distinguish between numbers, such as the number 12, and strings, such as 12, which are collections of characters. Computers can perform mathematical operations on a number, but not a string. So if, let's say you have 12 plus 7, this is of type string. This is a string, and this is also a string. And if I did this, let's say I go to the console here, and this you can also do by, if you're on a Mac, using Option Command I, or I believe Option Command J does it also. I happen to use I, you could use either one. You can clear the console by hitting Command K, and that will clear that. And now if I say 12 plus 7 regularly, it will give me 19. But if I say 12 as a string plus 7 as a string, it's going to concatenate both of these strings together and give me 127 like this. So the data type in JavaScript is very powerful, very important to understand. So these are this second example is an example of sort of adding strings together, whereas here you're adding the numbers. So let's see, for example, okay, computers can perform mathematical operations on a number but not on a string. Variables allow computers to store and manipulate data in a dynamic fashion. They do this by using a label to point to the data rather than using the data itself. Any of the 8 data types may be stored in a variable. Variables are similar to the x and y variables you use in mathematics, which means there's a simple name to represent the data we want to refer to. Computer variables differ from mathematic variables in that they can store different values at different times. We tell JavaScript to create or declare a variable by putting the keyword var in front of it, like so. There's actually now in JavaScript, there's let and const, but we'll get to those later. So right now, you should just start with var to declare your variables. Let's see. So var rname, for example, creates a variable called rname. In JavaScript, we end statements with semicolons. Variable names can be made up of numbers, letters, and $ or underscore, but may not contain spaces or start with a number. Use the var keyword to create a variable called myName. Hint, look at the rname example above if you get stuck. So we're just going to declare a variable using var, and they want it to be called myName. So go ahead and pause the video and try to do this on your own if you'd like, and then come back here for the answer. So essentially we just declare var myName and give it a little semicolon at the end to tell JavaScript we are done with the line here. Now we could, if we wanted to, say var myName is Jason, but this would actually make it declare it as a string, and now this would be of type string, and it would actually have a name. So for example, if I go into here and I say var myName, and I just do this, there would be a variable created called myName, but it would be undefined. And I can say, type of is one you'll get familiar with. If I say type of myName, it will give me the type. and the type of this is undefined because it's not defined yet. But now if I try to redeclare it and I say my name equals Jason, it's not going to let me do this because it's already been declared. Oh, it actually with var is letting me. So if we look at type of my name, it's now a string. So that's something to know. You can say var my name, and you don't have to declare anything yet. You can say var your name, and you can just declare it because it will actually be there. But if I don't hit enter here and I want to say type of your name, but I haven't declared it yet, this will throw an error. This will let me know that it's undefined. It should be undefined, or maybe because they've see your name is not defined. So yeah, I guess the type of it is still undefined, but your name is totally not defined because it has not been defined. So if we say var your name, and then now we try to get your name, it will still say undefined, but it doesn't throw this error anymore, this uncaught reference error, because it doesn't have anything to reference at this point. It's saying your name is not defined. So this should pass our test here, and let's run the test and see what happens. You should declare my name with the var keyword. Oh, I'm sorry, it just wants this here. So let's run the test. Keep calm and code on. Good job, guys. Let's go do one more for this video and we'll wrap up the basics. You're already starting to learn some JavaScript here, so that's awesome. Let's see. And you know, this is such powerful stuff. If you're interested in coding, or this really resonates with you, I definitely encourage you to move forward with it. And it's not an easy road, but it's definitely something that can be done no matter what. I think more than, you know, intelligence or, you know, just raw skill is your motivation for wanting it. If you want to become a developer and you work hard enough, you can totally do it. And you know, I'm here with any advice or any help that I can give as well. Of course, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I will definitely answer every single comment that I can, and I can definitely help moving forward. You can always reach me at wisnerjjason@gmail.com as well. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. I definitely am grateful for where I've gotten myself, and I would love to help others, you know, get to that point as well. So let's move on to storing values with the assignment operator. In JavaScript, you can store a value in a variable with the assignment operator equals. So my variable equals 5. This assigns the number value 5 to my variable. If there are any calculations to the right of the equals operator, those are performed before the value is assigned to the variable on the left of the operator. So var my var, and then my var equals 5. First, this code creates a variable named myvar. Then the code assigns 5 to myvar. Now, if myvar appears again in the code, the program will treat it as if it is the number 5. So assign the value 7 to variable a. So here's the setup. They've already done this for you. Now, see if you can only change code below this line. See if you can give a the value of 7. Go ahead and pause it and do that, and then come back for the answer. Okay, since we've already declared it here, we don't need to use var again. We can just simply say a equals 7. Don't forget the semicolon at the end, and let's run the test. Pull out all the stops. You did it. Good job. Let's go on to the next one, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Go ahead and like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more content like this.